So there's been a lot of talk about AI for remote sales reps, and in this video I wanted to talk about how sales reps are using AI to get ahead. And I want to preface it by saying that AI is to be used as a productivity multiplier. No, it is not a replacement for sales reps. Closers aren't going anywhere. Highly skilled, trained appointment setters aren't going anywhere. At the end of the day, like I said, AI is going to help you get ahead by being a productivity multiplier. The first thing I'll talk about with this is you will have a lot easier time outreaching to prospects. So AI is going to help you target companies faster by understanding them, having it do deep dives. This is one thing we do with Rep Select when people are looking at our job posts. We have now Rep Select AI Insights, which does a whole background check on the companies, looks for all of their mentions online, their Trustpilot, their reviews, looks at all the details about them and puts together a little summary on who they are, what they're about, what questions you should ask in the interview, etc. It gives us a full breakdown of that company, and on the back end it gives a trust score that we can use to see whether we're going to reject that company from posting on our job site or approve that job post. And reps can do the same thing with their outreach when they're looking for companies that they should reach out to and they want to sell them a product or service. AI can be a big helper in doing that diagnosis, doing a lot of the research, finding the top prospects, finding the people to reach out to, finding their LinkedIns, finding their emails, finding their phone numbers, similar to what our AI does for reps that want to reach out to land more jobs. So if you want to make sure that your product or service is a good fit for that company, top reps are using AI to make that a lot faster. Secondly is role play. I know a lot of reps struggle to find role play partners, people to practice with. And even when you do have people to practice with, one of the hardest parts about doing a mock call is having it be effective by having the prospect be able to play a proper character. At the end of the day, people are only as good at role play, or at least the prospects that you role play with are only as good as they are good at acting. And you have two options with role plays. You have that person act out being themselves. You have you sell something that they would actually buy. That way they can be a real prospect. The problem with that is it's very limiting in the amount of things you can practice. If you're trying to do role plays for like a B2B offer and you're trying to practice with someone who's never been a business owner, it's just, they're not going to be able to play that character right. And if you have to practice only on something that they would actually buy, then you're never going to get to be able to practice selling to a business owner. So limits with role play come down to the people that you can actually pair up with and how good they are at playing the character that you want them to play. But as AI gets better, it's only going to get better at playing different prospects, different identities, different niches, and you can kind of have it all at your fingertips. So really good reps are practicing this. They're using AI to get better, more quality sessions in. I would still do role plays with another human, but here and there you can fill in some of the gaps, or you can just get more reps in, because there's also the time limit factor where when you partner up with someone, one, they can only practice for so long, and two, most likely they're there to practice as well. So you're going to have to be taking turns swapping back and forth, and you're not going to get as much practice in an hour or 2 hours as you would if you were the only one playing the closer, playing the setter, and going over and over and over again, to be fair to that person. Another thing reps are using AI for is personalizing outreach. Like I said before, it speeds up the outreach by being able to do a background research on them. But taking it a step further, what we've implemented at Rep Select is not only does Rep Select AI Insights does a full background check on the prospect or on the business, but then it takes your resume, your sales profile that you have on Rep Select, and then personalizes outreach, taking into the context your profile and the job post and the job description and everything it found in the company. And it says, okay, this is how you can best highlight what you're good at in your experience that matches this job. This is what you should send to them on LinkedIn. This is what you should email over to them. This is how you should apply for the role. And it helps personalize that outreach. So then you can take that message, get a really good idea, add your own little personal touch to it, and then send it a lot quicker. Now imagine if you had to send 50 outreaches, 100 outreaches as a sales rep, and you had an AI that could do that, that could take your product, take your service, knowing the results that you're able to get, do the background check on all the prospects that you have emails for or contacts for, and then say, hey, this is where the product fits, this is how it doesn't fit, this is who it fits for, and this is what message you can send to them. And instead of you having to do all the research and then having to create the whole message yourself, you could just look at the message that's already built, tweak it, change it, put it in your own words, and just make little adjustments before you do your outreach. You as a sales rep are going to do a lot more, a lot faster outreach than other sales reps that aren't utilizing these tools are able to do. And another thing is it's able to track the numbers. It'll track the numbers. It'll tell you where the gaps are, tell you where the inconsistencies are, not only in the numbers, but in how you sell when it's recording your calls. And the numbers will allow you to make data-driven decisions. Tracking being easier, being less manual is always good. Most sales reps hate, submitting numbers and at the end of the day, spending hours doing admin. It automating that admin for you, it automating some of these boring, more, tedious tasks massively speeds up the process for you as a sales rep, not only in your job search, but when you are actually in the field closing deals, setting appointments. And sales reps that learn to utilize these tools are going to get ahead, are going to get more results, are going to sell faster than people that are still doing everything the manual way. So I wouldn't take AI and use it as something that would make me fearful for what's going to happen in the future with the sales role. I don't think it's going anywhere, just based on the fact that humans like to buy from humans, and we still need to have conversations, and AI is nowhere near good enough to fake those conversations. But AI can, will, and is used as a massive productivity multiplier. And if you don't utilize it for yourself, you're probably missing out on a ton of work that you could be getting done way faster. Hopefully that helps. See you guys in the next video.